What is going on, everybody? Star Wars Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be checking out Quinlan Red, which recently did really well over the weekend, especially in America at the PQs. Before we get started with today's video, please make sure to join my Patreon as a free member or as a paid member. If you're a paid member, obviously you'll have access to all of the deck lists that I post. I post a new deck list almost every day. Here's one that I did a while ago. So each deck has the deck list. If there's any videos on it, then I kind of break down the deck, the card choices, why they're in there, kind of talk about things, and then talk about the sideboard and maybe board and all that good stuff. So please check that out, even as a free member if you can't do the $5 a month. And please, 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 if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, as it helps me to keep making great content and helps the channel to grow. I greatly appreciate it. This is a deck that's been pretty popular, I would say, for the last month and pretty well talked about, but I myself have not gotten around to it, as I've been busy playtesting a lot of other decks, and I just figured I would, since so many other people had talked about this one before, I'd kind of wait a little while. But I think it's worth talking about now, especially because it is one of the premier decks in the format. You know, Tarktintown in general is just one of the premier bases between Tarktintown and ECL. Tarktintown has really come along strong in set 3 with some of the new cards that we got, including Quinlan and Jango. Even Cad Bane has gotten popularized with Tarktintown, and then I even saw some Finn Red in some of the recent tournaments that finished top 4 in a 100-person tournament, which is sweet, because Finn Red is a deck that I originally played when that leader came out, but haven't given it much attention, as it hasn't had the results. But it's good to see that that deck had some results. So I do think it's a cool leader. But Quinlan, if you're not familiar with Quinlan, Cad Bane is probably a little better as far as like anytime you play any underworld unit, you get to ping. But Quinlan has its strengths as well, although there are definitely games where you can play the leader and not ping a single thing all game, just because your opponent maybe goes wide, or just plays units that are not on curve, or maybe cheaper, or so there are games like that do happen where you don't even get to ping a single unit on your opponent's board. So that's one of the reasons why I would say, one of Quinlan's weaknesses. But I do think this deck is very, very good from testing it and kind of, just throwing myself into the fire, which is what I usually do. So, Quinlan wants to use a lot of smuggle units, and that's on purpose, so that you can pull them out at different times when their resources match a unit that's on board in particular, especially if Quinlan has not been deployed yet. Force Throw, of course, is amazing because Quinlan's a force unit. Daring Raid, Tarkintown, of course, you always play 3 Daring Raid in any Tarkintown deck. That's just a given because it's an immediate turn 1 play. There's an argument that you could even play a 1-drop in here, just so that Quinlan has the ability to ping one of their 1-drops as well, alongside a Daring Raid Tarkintown play on turn 1. Different things, because there's a lot of 1 HP 1-drops, so there is an argument to play a 1-drop in here. I'm pretty much testing out like one of the more popular lists, just because I wanted to play the list from the people that have played it a bunch and not try to change it around and tweak it. But I think I added a Daring Raid because there was only 2 in the list that I was looking at. I didn't change much else. So, turn 1, you're playing like a Green Squadron or Sabine or an L337 or an R2D2. So you have a lot of turn 1 plays so that you can immediately Tarkintown their unit. This is great tempo. Of course, ECL has the ability to ECL in the following turn to trade with one of your units and potentially kill it without them dying. Like if they have a Fighters for Freedom, for example, a 3/4 unit that can kill your unit, and has Saboteur as well, so it could get through the L337 even with its shield. So ECL obviously still has the ability to stay with you if they have the right turn 2 play. But just in general, getting a unit on board and then Tarkintowning their unit immediately just immediately puts you at an advantage. They have to find an answer immediately, or you're already ahead of them in the game. And then you have things like Surprise Strike, which is in Hotshot Blaster, and there's some really cool things that happened in a couple of games I was playing, in particular where I had Ezra out there and then found a Hotshot Blaster off the top of the deck and made Ezra 5 forward, which immediately allowed it to kill Sabine the following turn, which was awesome. So Ezra is really nice in here to give you that card advantage. So is R2-D2 to kind of dig for things. You know, one of your best plays in here is to get a couple of units out, or at least one unit out by the time that you flip Quinlan, so that you have 2 units out, and then you could immediately play Plo Koon on the same turn as a 6/6 with ambush, or really a 7/6 because it's going to do damage to something. So Plo Koon is incredible in here. So in space, we have 3 Green Squadron, 2 Red 3, which I think is fine, and 3 Millennium Falcon. Of course, sometimes you have to kind of, you don't always necessarily want Falcon early on in the game unless it makes sense to kill something immediately on turn 2. Falcon, of course, has the ability to ping a 3-drop unit and immediately swing in and kill a space unit, so that's very useful, especially with Tarktintown. Falcon can be just incredible on turn 2 in certain situations, but sometimes you want to be careful about when you play Falcon, because you really need Plo Koon to be available on 5 resources, and you don't want to have to pay the tax for Falcon. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're playing this list. Another turn 1 play is Spark or Rebellion. I think that's definitely better against mid-range and control. Just remove things from their hand, and that combined with Force Throw, and K2SO and Kira, you can just, and then Pillage is in the sideboard, of course, so you can really just blow their hand out of the water, and that's definitely one of your win cons in certain games. And even against aggro, like blowing their hand out of the water and just leaving them with 1 card a turn or less, or before they even get to use their cards, it can be really devastating and can win you the game. So that's definitely another way to win. Obviously, Surprise Strike can help you push damage as well as Hotshot Blaster. So this deck is just very well versed. You could consider a card like Smuggle if you're having a hard time with aggro, just as like another card that you could smuggle. It's for 1 resource, you could just gain 3 life, and I think that helps you stay in some of those more aggressive matchups, but I don't think you need it necessarily. I think you have enough tools in here that you can win the aggro matchup, whether it's Jango or Sabine. I think it's a good matchup for Quinlan. I think where Quinlan's going to struggle is decks where they don't play any units, and they have ways to just ramp into really, really big things that can be very devastating. Obviously, Waylay helps with that, and Spark and Force Throw and all that kind of stuff, but those matchups can be harder, especially like boss decks in general can be tough because they can put bounties on your units and get a lot of value, while you're not necessarily getting any value because you're not able to ping things if they're not playing units, whether it's Boss Green or Boss Blue. Turn 2, like I said, we have Red 3, Millennium Falcon, Ezra. Ezra, of course, helps us with card draw. Cassian's just really nice to pull out of your resources later in the game. I think that's where it's best in this deck. Occasionally, you want to use it on turn 2 to ping something that they played. Waylay, of course, is very important. There's going to be times where they play a Dark Saber or they play a Barrage, and you just hit them with a Waylay and just completely set them back a turn. And again, that's kind of what you want to do in a deck like this, especially when you're discarding cards. If you're sending stuff back to their hand and putting them a turn behind, and then, especially like if they play a Wing Leader or a Dark Saber, where it takes an action to do that, and then you Waylay it back, and all they're left with is either nothing if the Dark Saber play, or they're left with a Wing Leader. Like, that puts you really far ahead. So Waylay is extremely important in certain situations. You want to time that for the right, for a more impactful play. I don't think it's necessarily a play on turn 2 unless they have the Wing Leader play, but it's more of 5, 6, 7 resources where they play something bigger that's much more impactful to the board state. K2SO, of course, is just very good in here because it hits those 4 resource units in their deck, and then it either discards or does damage to their face, depending on. Heroic Sacrifice is a card I would consider if I were to tweak this more to my liking. Maybe cut 1 Pillage, and I don't know what else, but I would like to have 2 Heroic Sacrifice in here somehow. I think it's just still does 9 damage with K2SO. It's another way to push an extra 2 damage. It also draws you a card, so that's another card I would consider. At least maybe in the sideboard. Kira is really sweet in here, especially when you pull it out of your deck with Ezra and immediately play it, which is amazing. But Kira is just really nice at, as a tempo card, just to kind of prevent them from playing those more expensive things. I think in particular, it's really good for like cards like Fett's Firespray or Ruthless Raider to make them more expensive, or just to make them have to spend all their resources to do something like a Wing Leader at 5 resources, for example, where they don't want to spend all 5 resources on the Wing Leader. They want it to do 2 things in the turn, like maybe a Wing Leader plus a Rebel Assault, for example. So it kind of puts your opponent in some weird situations, and it's still a 3-powered unit with 5 HP, so it's a good surprise strike target. It's swinging it for 6 damage, and it's right on curve into Plo Koon. So it's a really nice tempo card. I really like it in here. Plo Koon, of course, is definitely one of the MVPs on the ground. Just being able to swing in for essentially 7 damage on your 4th turn is amazing. When you flip Quinlan, the synergy is just great. It's very easy to activate Coordinate because it deploys on the same turn that Plo Koon comes out. A lot of games that I played today, that's definitely what I was trying to do, is just to make sure I could get Plo Koon as a 6/6, just to be able to kill their leaders immediately. It really puts them back. I mean, Plo Koon, I would say, is like the leader killer, right? It can kill Jango, it can kill Moff, Tarkin, Sabine, Anakin. Just, what leader? The only leaders I think that it can't kill are like Yoda, and like leaders that are more expensive than 5 resources, I guess. So anything 5 resources or under, Plo Koon's going to kill it, right? And either way, it's still going to swing in for 6 damage, which kills a lot of big threats like Poe, Wrecker. So it's very useful for that as well. Millennium Falcon is also very good in here because it immediately kills Ruthless Raider and Fett's Firespray after they've been deployed on the same turn, because it matches their resources, so it pings them for 1 damage, and then you ambush it in immediately from your hand and immediately kill them. If it attacks Ruthless Raider, it's still going to die because they're probably going to take it out because it's a really powerful unit. But either way, it's a great way to just trade with those cards that, especially against Jango, so they can't get an advantage on you and attack in space and be left unattended. So you definitely need the Falcon. I think it's extremely important. And then Han Solo, of course, is just very good at killing things on the ground for, anything 7 resources or under, hitting them for 7 damage and then not taking any damage itself. So to round things out. So just overall, it's a very fun deck. It does take a little practice and playing around with to kind of get a feel for how you want to play this. But I do think it is a very fun deck. I like that there's a lot of technicalities to it, like you're kind of thinking when to play certain things. It plays more, there's a lot more thought processes than you would think in a deck like this, and I really enjoy that about it. It's more challenging. So this is a deck that I would consider playing because I do think it has well-rounded matchups because of the discard effects that it has. Gives it a fighting chance against mid-range and control, the ability to push damage with Hotshot Blaster and Surprise Strike, and then, like I said, I would try to find a way to get Heroic Sacrifice in there if possible. But I think that helps you to push damage and to catch up if you're a little bit behind, if maybe your opponent got off to a quick start. The card draw with Ezra, more hand disruption with Kira. Plo Koon is just an amazing turn 4 play. Falcon does a good job of handling things in space. So overall, it makes sense why this deck is popular and good. I think it has tools, all the right tools. The yellow red hero colors are just really strong right now. I love decks that can play Force Throw. Force Throw is one of the best cards in the game. So, but let's get into some games so I can kind of show you how this deck worked for me. Yeah, I want to have a turn 1. I want to have a better curve than this. Okay, there's a better curve. Okay. Okay, definitely like Plo Koon. I like Looks like a surprise strike. Waylay is good too for any upgraded stuff. I think we're going this route. We can use Daring Raid potentially. Just pass. Okay, pass again. Yeah, we're just gonna Tarktintown that. Pass. Okay, we don't need 2 Falcons. Falcon is not exactly what we want in this matchup. We could just waylay that. Could attack in. Save the waylay in case he tries to upgrade it. It's not the worst thing. Could always send Falcon back. Do we want to play the 1? Yeah, this turn we do. Next turn we don't. What card are we resourcing here? Probably Sabine. See what he does. Like if he tries a Dark Saber, we're just gonna easy waylay. Right now we're just gonna go face. Okay, do want a surprise strike for 6 here. Doesn't seem like a bad option. Can always Daring Raid for 1 too. Okay. I think that's what we're doing. We're just gonna go face with the Daring Raid and just be more aggressive than them. Yep. So at this point, if we find a, we did not find that. Are we using Plo Koon here? He still has ECL active, so we should swing in with Green A-Wing first. Do we want to play 1 or are we just playing Waylay? I think we're just playing Waylay. We're just paying the 1 because we're in the lead. And then I think we're just resourcing that. Swinging in with Green A-Wing first. So that he has to attack into Falcon. Or have something to block it, like a Bright Hope. If he uses that, good game. Yeah, so he got close, but not close enough. Good game, good game. Alright, we got interesting hand. So let Sabine go. And Sabine. So we can be 2 on the ground, 2 in space, I think. I think that feels fine. Let's pass. So we can just play our unit and then ping one of theirs and immediately kill it. From what I haven't played against this deck before, but what I know about it is this is a deck that's trying to be aggressive, so us kind of, we don't necessarily need to play aggressive, we can kind of play more tempo. So since we have the turn 1 play, yep, just go ahead and, do I want to ping? Well, that doesn't ping that, does it? It does not. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, easy choice L337 here, I think. They could have a unit in space. 3-4, I think, is that one unit that's pretty good. Or that. It's a 2-drop. I'm just gonna play Falcon here, I think. And then play Red 3 next turn. I kind of want to save Falcon and just play Red 3 now. So far they've been able to dodge our ability, which is not the best feeling. They just passed? They're thinking that we're gonna kill that. I'm not killing that thing. You can kill it next turn, sir. Alrighty then. Casting something we can pull out. Could also pull out this to ping something. But that doesn't really do us a lot. I think getting K2SO down is a pretty good idea right now. Let's just attack first for 7. We'll play Falcon next turn on the Quinlan turn, or if we get Plo Koon. This card flips on 5, it's a 3/6, so yeah, Plo Koon is ideal because then we can just immediately kill that on 5 next turn. So let's just get in for 4. Surprise strike would be nice too, so that we can just outpace our opponent. The fact that we've been kind of avoiding things on the ground is good too, I think. Okay. Yeah, K2SO is just power and damage, so if they want to attack into that, that is totally fine, okay. Do I want to discard or damage? Discard is intriguing because they only have 2 cards in hand because they went so wide. This gets us up to 14. I think we're still going damage. And then claiming initiative. So he's going to give that 2-2, that's fine. We also have a casting we could pull out now. We have 2 castings that we can pull out. We have a Falcon and an R2-D2 here. We have Quinlan, which doesn't do a ton. Let's just get in for 4 first. I mean, he's got to take out our Red 3 here. He's got to have something. This Red 3 is just doing work. Yeah, we haven't used Quinlan's ability one time this game. Just been using the old aggro cards. I guess that's why I've always, you know, one of the things about this leader is you just play around its ability, and yeah, I don't think he can win now because we just either play Falcon or flip Quinlan, and there's no way he can kill both of those with 5 resources. Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. Okay. Yep, a little too late. Good game. And we have a nice curve. So I'm going to hold on to the spark just in case. I think Kira's more important than K2SO. And I'm going to let Sabine go because I think it's less important in this matchup because they're mostly in space. Okay, that's exactly what I thought would happen. Let's spark and get rid of things that are good for them. Okay. 3, 4, 5. I think the next few turns I want to play units. Spark is good next turn. Kira's pretty good for to keep the Fett's fire spray at bay. You could also just spark it next turn, which is even better, so that makes me want to take Kira out of here. And just go Ezra into green A-Wing. Okay. Okay, so we're going to use Ezra to kill Greedo. Green A-Wing does nothing as far as damage goes. They can Tarktintown or Ezra, that's totally fine. Do I want to play that? No. I want to discard that. So they probably attack in for 4 here, I would imagine. So we're gonna spark. Wonderful. Let's get rid of Ruthless Raider because that's more devastating. Play green A-Wing. If he does that, then reclaim the initiative and attacking in with green A-Wing into their Lurking TIE Phantom. Getting rid of R2 here, I think. Okay. Get rid of that, I think. Kill Jango. Claim the initiative. So we're going to use green A-Wing to kill TIE Advanced. And then we're going to use Falcon to kill Fett's fire spray. Nicely done. Deck. Nicely done, deck. Alrighty. I think we can let the L337 go. If he plays another big thing, we can just waylay it. Let's go surprise strike K2SO or waylay. He can't kill us, but we can kill him. Or we can surprise strike, get up to 12 plus waylay. That seems better. Like catch up a little bit. He will kill Plo Koon, but he will not be able to attack. What do we have in our resources? We have a few different things. I think we're good here at 3. Yep, there's the Plo Koon dead. Play this, we could pull this out of our resources and attack with it next turn. We're at 7, 9, it's 10. It's not the worst idea. So we can resource it and pull it out. Okay. Surprise strike is nice. So we're going to resource Cassian as a backup card to attack with. Okay, he could have surprise strike. Okay, there's a card. That's fine. Could surprise strike with Quinlan and kill his big guy, or surprise strike with L337 and kill it, or just try to go face for 6-8. I think we just kill it. See what they do here. We're at 9 resources, so Kira's not really doing much for us, so we can pull Cassian out now. Okay. Get in for 3. Okay. He's going wide, but we're going to be at 21 damage. Plus Kira. Well, we're just going to go Cassian, actually. And do damage there. Get up to 21, and he's got to have something here to catch up. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he can catch up to that. Okay, again, right. Looking like turn 1 is Sabine, most likely, or Daring Raid. We're going to resource Cassian and Falcon, I think. Because they both can be smuggled. Plays a 2-drop. It's an easy choice. Just go ahead and kill that immediately. One thing we have to think about here is that they have 30 HP. Okay, easy resource there with L337. That is one of the nice things about this deck, is the resource decisions most of the time feel pretty straightforward. Like, I'm just most of the time choosing my smuggle units. If he plays a 3-drop, then we can use Falcon. Okay. That is a card. We could waylay that. Could Daring Raid it so that we ping it for 2. And swing it in with a target. What makes the most sense? Like, Daring Raid is not bad because of Sabine's ability. But we're not getting it for damage, which stinks that they played that. Waylay allows us to get it for damage, but I want to save that for bigger stuff. Falcon lets us swing it for 3. and ping it for 1. So that's not bad. Gets us for damage. Daring Raid was an option too, but this at least lets us have different units and forces him to have to attack into our Sabine. I mean, we could attack into it, I guess, but do we want to? I don't know. I'm trying to attack with Sabine. There we go. I got 12 damage. Whoa. Glitchy. Just revert the turn, because I don't know what that was. That was quite an attack by Falcon there. Let's try this again. There we go. Do we want to kill it? Probably. I mean, either way, he's gonna pump it up to 4, I would guess, so. We're at 4 resources. We can still play Ezra and keep this running. What are we letting go of here? Probably Daring Raid at this point. Yeah, Falcon can be awkward early, but at least we can play Ezra here. Because next turn, we really want to have at least 1 unit on board when we flip Quinlan, so we can play Plo Koon to kill this immediately on deploy. So this one we want to make sure we play have 2 units on board right now, and then try to. Okay, well he's coming out with Grand Moff Tarkin right now, which is interesting. So he's putting a card from his discard back, and he's ramping to 5. Okay, it's totally fine. I would waylay if I could, but I can't. Alright, he attacks, we claim initiative. And kill with Plo Koon, because Plo Koon is... shoot. Well, that's true. Yeah, we have to kind of let that go, don't we? That was what I was talking about before, wasn't I? What are we resourcing here? Surprise Strike seems good. Just look at the A-Wing go. Bring out Quinlan. Hope he doesn't have a way to kill either one of these right away. Could have like a barrage. That is a card. Okay, well that's fine. Going face. Okay. Top card is Kira playing her heart. Choose a mode. I actually want to leave that because that is a good card against a deck like this that is playing bigger units. 6/7, so he could kill our Plo Koon. You could have a Vader here. So Kira plus Surprise Strike is a good option for us, or even Waylay. Vader obviously is bad because he'll find a unit too and kill something, and then he'll have the ATST on top of that. It's interesting you never see this card play that much. It seems like a pretty sweet card, and especially in this deck, to keep pumping it up. That's why I've been holding on to this Waylay. Yep, there's the card I was worried about. So he can kill Plo Koon and Ezra, and then we're just gonna waylay him. Okay, he just went for that. Okay, well that's fine. So we're gonna go waylay. Then we're gonna play Falcon, I think, and swing in for 12 damage. That's a card. I was surprised that he went Kira there. Plo Koon is what I would say the bigger threat. We don't need another Ezra. So now we're in good shape. All we have to do is Surprise Strike, and we got this game on lock, unless he has a way to gain life. Choose a card to resource. I don't think we need another Falcon. Okay. And Surprise Strike it is. Good game. Another good one. Not my favorite hand. Let's keep it though. This is risky. Definitely risky, but we have Daring Raid turn 1. Or Spark of Rebellion. Daring Raid turn 2. Or Ezra turn 2. It just feels like not ideal, but we have Daring Raid Force Throw turn 1, I guess. Or Spark. So we're going to get rid of Han and 1 Spark. Yeah. So it's one of those hands where, like, you know, they're going first. So yeah, there's that. So we're going to Daring Raid to kill that immediately. Then we're going to Force Throw opponent, get them to discard something that they want to hold on to. Ooh, that's pretty good. Another Han. I mean, Han is so far away. I hate to let Han go, but I mean, we gotta be in this game more. Okay, there's a card. It does something. It sets up a Daring Raid at least. Is he pinging or is he taking the initiative? Yep. Okay. There's the Daring Raid I was talking about. We can let R2 go, I think. Because we can use Spark here to take something away from him this turn that he wants to play, which is Poe. Let's attack in. Hotshot Blaster, I could play it. Oh yeah, we're definitely playing that. Yeah, nice. That's pretty sweet actually. That was a good find. Alright, we're gonna Daring Raid Red 3 so that he's not getting it for more damage. Now Ezra immediately can kill Sabine, which is sweet. Okay, Sabine, that's an easy choice. Okay, Ezra into Sabine. Top card is Plo Koon. Oh my goodness, we want to play that for sure. That was a disgusting find with Ezra. Goodness gracious. He plays it. Anything with 3 power, or 3 toughness, we're gonna kill it. If you got lucky and found a Poe, then we're going to claim the initiative so that we can kill his Poe. Yeah, so we're going to use Surprise Strike Ezra, or just kill with Plo Koon. I think we just kill with Plo Koon, right? That's the best value for us. Okay, then we attack in with Ezra. See what we can find. Kira is nice. For a cause, and make him pay 6. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, doesn't really matter. Okay, we surprise strike, we get up to 15, and then we just try to outpace him, right? Okay. Alrighty. Don't need another Kira. He has not ECL'd yet. Surprised he didn't ECL with Poe before. I think that was a misplay on his part. Okay. 4 damage. What are we swinging it for? We're swinging it for 8, 11. So we have game. So we might as well force throw. Opponent. If he's something 2 damage, okay. Well, I don't think it matters because we have game. So just make sure before I count all my ducks in a row, right? Good game. Another good one. Just obliterated their hand that game. So we kept the weird hand, and it worked out. But you know, shows that this deck has different avenues that it can take to win this match.